Okay, it is finally time to start cleaning up this 396 402 big block that is going in the 55 Chevy project. It is very low mileage motor. It should be in very good shape internally. It was the vehicle that it was installed in after the rebuild was in an accident. It had been taken out, sat for I think about 10 years or so in the shop waiting for it to go into a new project that just never happened. So we have our hands on it now. I'm going to get the water pump, intake, balancer, all of this stuff torn off of the motor, run a scope through it, check the internal, see if we do end up having to take her down any further than that. Hopefully not. And start putting some pretty parts on it. I got as far as pulling the original manifolds off and found pretty good evidence of some chipmunk food in there. Luckily, you know, all the valves and everything are in here, so it didn't get a chance to get inside the motor, just in the manifold. We did not realize that this was a occupied unit or dwelling, so no eviction notices were sent out, but it does look like it has been abandoned for quite some time. So we're going to continue on and hope that there's no legal ramifications. All right, well, apparently chipmunks are pretty smart, and I don't see any evidence down there, but apparently they don't shit where they eat, which is nice. So it was just a bunch of like sunflower seeds or whatever the hell that was. All right, so let's start by getting these valve covers off. See the meat and potatoes of this thing. Go find me a 7/16 right quick. Okay. Well, this thing's supposed to be following me, but apparently I am way too fast. I'm gonna pop these back on for cleaning. It's just curiosity really that's got me opening it up right now. Really just want to make sure there's no loose rockers, obvious bent push rods, freaking anything like that that might give us evidence that she was parked for other reasons than the rest of the car going down. That's exactly what we hope never happens in this thing again. I don't know if y'all caught that, but bolt went right down the hole. We all know that if that bolt would have fallen in there during final assembly, it would have never come out that easy. Never. We'd have to tear the whole freaking thing apart. Oh, comes right up. Ooh, and she's not like 8,000 pounds, maybe 50. Good enough for the scrapper to get a few bucks. It's never been upgraded. It's all hydraulic, flat tappets. From what I can see at first glance, all the lobes on the cam look like they're still nice and flat. Push rods, all that look good. I don't see any evidence of rust on the inside. Of course, there's a bit in the coolant ports and stuff, but we'll rinse that out thoroughly before she goes back together. So yeah, let's get this water pump off. We already got a pretty good idea of what that's going to look like. Rusty and crusty. No, not bad. Probably throw a new timing chain on everything on here. What do you think? Should we put a new cam in it too? I guess we'll see what they offer for this thing. Interested to pull this one out and see what's in it, but I bet you everything in here is bone stock, which would be nice. But like I said, that is a little bit loose. I mean, not horrible wear on anything, but sometimes it's just worth it when you got them down this far. Well, let's go check on that camera. Okay, I'm going to try to do this without rocking this camera too much. I've got it pointed at the scope, but I want to see what's happening in here too. So let's get you into number one here. She is not fantastic. There is still some evidence of some cross hatching in there. I can't really get the scope to turn around to catch this other wall. She is really freaking gummed up in there. A lot of carbon on that piston, but there is still evidence of some cross hatches in there. I moved this around a little bit earlier. I have not seen any deep gouges or anything like that. No rust or anything up in there. So I've now got a really good look at the inside of all the cylinders on this thing. Nothing seems to be horribly bad, not any big gouges or anything that at least I could see with the scope. But I have decided, just because the amount of carbon buildup and everything in there, that we are going to take these heads off. And that way we can check those out, make sure they're flowing correctly, all the valves and everything are good and seated. There's no issues there. We are going to replace the cam and lifters in here, just because I don't want to have to pull the whole car apart to do it if something goes wrong with them later. And same thing with the timing set. That timing chain seemed a little loose, and this is the time to do all of that. So that got me thinking, while I was looking at parts for this, that all you need is air, fuel, and compression, right? So if it's got good compression, then we shouldn't have to worry about really tearing it down and having this thing machined or anything. So you cannot test it by hand and get any kind of accurate reading. You just can't spin it fast enough. But I can drop this block back down on that stand. I've got a few flywheels laying around. I'm not sure if one of those or flex plates laying around. I don't know if one of those is correct or not. And I do have another small block here that's going to go in for rebuild that has a starter and a clutch and flywheel on it that do go together. So I'm going to go ahead and take some parts, mix mash, whatever I have to get together and get a starter on this thing, and we'll do a compression test and see what we actually got. Hopefully she says like 135, somewhere in there. That would be pretty damn good for a non-rebuilt freaking block. We're gonna keep our fingers crossed and be like, yeah, up, we back 150, 170 or something. That'd be ridiculous. Well, that took way longer than expected to just do a quick little test just for my peace of mind and everything. But I did find some an old junk momentary switch, starter, flywheel, everything pretty much the exact same stuff we're going to buy new and put on this thing when it's built. And I've got the compression tester over there on number 1. Hopefully I don't make too big of a freaking mess, but got this tightened up on number 1. Let's see what we get for the first cylinder. That is really not what I wanted to see. Let me make sure this is tight and I'm actually spinning it fast enough. It seems to be spinning pretty slow. There we go. 180 on number 1. That is freaking awesome. I was hoping for like 130 or something. No, that is beautiful. Let's see. 180. I mean, I know I did have oil in there, so that lifts it up a little bit, but yeah, I'm not making a huge mess on the floor. But I don't care. That's freaking exciting shit right there. This is like a low compression big block motor, so these are like, that's not a number you should see if I just rebuilt the thing. Let's see what number 3 says.
Or a hair less.
Let's go back to number 1 because maybe I'm not getting it sealed up quite tight enough. But could have just been all that oil in there. I don't know. Could, if I wanted, really tighten that in there. Okay, try again. No, number 1 is definitely very good, and it's like picking up crazy fast. I should have left these valve covers off because I could look and see if possibly it's a valve that's not opening and shutting. In fact, I might just pull that off real quick and we can eliminate that, because the whole point of this is to ease my mind. So if I still have what ifs when I'm done doing this, this was all pointless. Okay, well, it is what it is. Alright, 5. $150. 7. Back to 180 again. So number 3 and number 5, when I pull the head off, we will take a good look at the head and see if those valves are seating correctly. Like I said, I looked in there with the scope. I didn't see any big deep gouges or anything in there. So hopefully it's just a valve. Tray number 2. Oh yeah, those are fantastic numbers from a frickin' motor that has really had nothing done to it. I know the guy that I got it from. I don't know the guy that he got it from. And it obviously hasn't been touched. Other than put on different cradles and engine stands and moved from shop to shop. So I do believe, come on baby, that the story passed down through the ages was correct at this point. All right, number 4. See, those are numbers I can deal with. What is that? 32, 3, 4. Okay. The hell does that add up to? How many spots are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Divided by 30, so 5. So that's 160. Man. Sorry, I got a headache. Not from doing the math, I had it from before then, but it took me a second. I took my time, went back through, made sure the compression tester was good and seated and tightened down in each one of the cylinders, and made sure that the battery was fully charged. Went back through, tested all of the cylinders again. These are the numbers I ended up coming up with. Number 3, number 5, and number 8 are my concerns right now. I'm not super worried about it. We are going to be putting a new cam and lifters in. There's a possibility that because it hasn't been run in a while, that those lifters could be a little bit low. There could be a bunch of carbon buildup on the bottom side of the valves, maybe holding one open a hair. And we're gonna clean all that up and get that all handled before it goes back together. There'll be new gaskets, all of that stuff. Like I said, it could be a head gasket leak. There's a lot of little things that could cause that, but I'm very happy with the compression in the remaining cylinders. In fact, I'm excited about all these numbers. I was really kind of hoping to hit, 135, 140 on this thing when I was dreaming up this idea to test it last night. So we're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna put that other valve cover on, get this thing outside, get this flywheel starter off, get it back on the engine stand, wire wheel, and clean the hell out of this thing. All right, I got the driver's side head off. I wanted to leave all the rockers, springs, everything else intact right now until we go and do the rebuild. I'll get these all cleaned out, blown out, handled. The head gasket looked like it was good. I didn't see any rips or any evidence that those were leaking at any point. and I have soaked most of the carbon and crap on these pistons enough that looks like most of this is just going to wipe off for me. So I'm gonna go ahead, run the wheel over the top of this, get it all cleaned up, get all the gasket goo and junk and everything off of it, and clean up the top of these pistons, check for any scoring or anything that I need to worry about, and we'll jump in on the passenger side. Down and dirty, low-end rebuild is done on the 396. It now has new rod bearings, new rings. We honed out all of the cylinders. I did find out why we had that low compression on number 3 and got that handled. I cleaned up the valve covers and they're just sitting on there right now just for paint. So I am going to get this thing sprayed down with some parts cleaner, tape off the manifold intake area, oil pan area, anything that gets gasketed for the new parts to go on, and get this thing sprayed. So you should be seeing this thing coming up shortly. Nice and pretty, and I believe orange with all the new Edelbrock parts on it, and maybe installed into its chassis.